I want to help you close the world wound.
Aurelia looks at you for a while, then she speaks. Aurelia's words are cut off by a quiet laugh. Sitting on the throne that was empty just a moment ago is none other than Nocticula, ruler of Elutionira and the Midnight Isles, a powerful demon lord and the one they call Our Lady in Shadow. Her red lips curl into an ironic smile, and her large eyes observe you with keen interest.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Aurilu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now, I am convinced that she is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward her with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which she is about to take part.
You've been sitting on your throne and listening to us this whole time.
Naturally. I am in the habit of observing my servants and guests while remaining unseen. Their private thoughts fly most eagerly from their lips when they believe themselves to be unwatched. And secrets exchanged in whispers are often invaluable.
Yeah. Hi. Just so we understand each other, I'm not going to grovel on my knees before you.
Have I told you to bow down? Trust me, if I need you to do something, I won't leave you guessing. You will know my desires immediately, and you will know just as swiftly why fulfilling those desires is in your best interest. I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Elutionira, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nehindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
Interesting.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have
Oh.
liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
Nocticula's tone is casual, but her eyes are intent, scrutinizing you. You were able to see the hand of the Inheritor despite all his enchantments.
The herald of that upstart goddess. Here.
Yes, although his defenses were quite intricate. A commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the Inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the Echo of Discari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities.
The hand of the Inheritor told me his magic deceived the eyes of all evil spawn of the Abyss, but not yours.
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who were more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow.
Tell me about the Echo of Discari.
He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the world wound was opened, Discari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Galarian and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be. To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Eredin, protector of humankind. Eredin gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole Abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Eredin. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Eredin, especially his inheritor, Iomade. her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Iomede's pet pug, if she had one.
Why does the echo of Discari prey upon the hand of the inheritor?
Envy, humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The echoes suffered more than one defeat. First at Eridan's hand, then under the onslaught of the forces of heaven. Those routs taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Iomede himself is in the Abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels.
I see.
He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomede, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not?
I'll grant you that, I suppose.
Of course, not all your actions in my realm have been commendable. By destroying the flesh markets, you've harmed my city and impoverished my realm.
I'll never accept something as vile as the slave trade.
You've just arrived in my realm, and you're already trying to dictate your own rules? As I recall, when demons attempted something similar on Galarian, armies were raised, and mortals fought to the death to stop it. I can scarcely believe it myself, but I will be gracious and show you mercy. I am a hospitable ruler.
I'm sure you are. Your conversation is interrupted by a concerned-looking succubus who silently approaches Nocticula and then begins fervently whispering in her ear. Nocticula's expression turns hard and cold. As Nocticula ponders the new development, the messenger makes eyes at you playfully. You recognize those green eyes, except they were awash with pain when you last saw them, their owner bleeding out in the caverns of the Nexus. The succubus smiles slyly and gives you a wink.
Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters, and tell them to prepare.
Nocticula sends the green-eyed servant away and turns her face to you once again. That green-eyed succubus, I know her.
Yes, you've already met Laulia, my talented assistant. I've heard she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the minds of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moments in the Abyss. And even a little earlier. I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the world wound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue.
Did Aurilu really create me? She has certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Lady Vorlesh designed the World Wound, a magical phenomenon of unfathomable power. To seal it, we required a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we required a champion, and she chose you. Both your powers and that wound on your chest were the result of her experiments, when she infused your soul with the essence of the Abyss. Of course, you remember none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the power granted to you was purified, to the extent that it was possible, so that you would not guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of the Hindrian crystals. These energies are necessary for the task at hand. Everything that's happened to you was part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you have followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. One can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price, says Aurilu quickly. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool whom we could fling into the flames of the world wound and close it like any lesser rift. I think you should know that. Nocticula makes a sudden gesture, cutting Arilu off. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened her with enough revelations for now. Give her time to become accustomed to the truth about herself. Then you can share all the details. By the way, I killed Willidus, your court mage. Nocticula shows no hint of sadness. I am aware of this, of course. It is lamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him impeccably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. So, my companion Ember would like to speak with you.
Ember? So that's her, then? Well, approach. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a Demon Lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this?
Tears are rolling down Ember's cheeks as she sniffles noisily. She presses her maimed hands against her heart as she stares up at Nocticula. Her fragile form shudders from weeping. Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is a Lucianira, not Nerosian. We don't give alms here.
I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
You should hear her out.
In my realm, I decide to whom I should listen and whom I should hang. Be quiet. You wanted me to hear the girl out? Then let her babble on until I tire of her. So, where were we? My pain? My sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me.
I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive. People being devoured by monsters. People burying their children. They were in pain. So much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you.
What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat?
I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel?
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
I've seen the truth of her wisdom more than once. Perhaps it would benefit you to listen to her as well.
As if I hadn't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. So, what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon?
No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you.
Save me? From what exactly?
From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen! You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You can do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen.
Oh, Ember.
Oh, the Redeemer Queen! That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight, or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool.
Do you think she took my words to heart?
Upon giving Nocticula one last smile, Ember ducks behind your back. Oh, who knows?
I suppose you're right. We'll see what happens.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
So, I may as well keep going. This episode's already gone long. I think I'll be making it a two-parter. One about the reveal of myself, and one on Nocticula. So I'd like to know more about you. Recounting my whole story would take longer than your brief mortal life allows. The list of demon lords I've slain is endless on its own, as is the number of islands under my rule. And that's just the past. There's also my future. How did you become a demon lord? Bear in mind that I have always been unique ever since I was born. I was the first succubus of the Abyss, the perfect specimen of my race. I had been enjoying my youth, sharing it with my brother and lover, until the hungry gaze of the demon lord Nahindri fell upon me. That greedy tyrant saw me as a jewel to be added to his treasure hoard. He tried to abduct me. I knew I had no chance of defeating a demon lord, but in that moment I was not thinking at all. I was fighting for my freedom. When it was all over, Nahindri was dead. I eviscerated him, and for many days afterward, blood spewed from his open carcass. First, his body turned to stone, and then his blood, which had been flowing like a stream, began to crystallize into massive purple glaciers. Now do you see why they are called Nahindrian crystals? Perhaps they should be called Nocticulan crystals, because as Nahindri's blood crystallized, so too did my understanding of my power. Soon after, I began my campaign of conquest. I was cunning and swift, and the demon lords themselves trembled before me, knowing I could take their very lives. Only when all of the Abyss spoke my name with terror and reverence did I decide that I had killed enough. I had a realm. I had no power I no longer shared with my brother. I had servants, and most importantly, I had safety. No one has ever repeated old Nahindri's mistakes. No one has tried to make me their slave. Are the Midnight Isles really the corpses of slain demon lords? Yes, my realm is quite literally built on the bones of my slain enemies. Ironic, isn't it? How did you turn the dead demon lords into islands? Surely you don't expect me to reveal the secret to you. There is no need for mortals to learn the weaknesses of demon lords. All I can say is that everything started with my desire for revenge. After I had dealt with Nahindri, I was furious at the thought of that vile, lecherous wretch just teleporting over to the Rift of Repose, where he could turn to stone and stay there to rot for the remainder of eternity. I wanted to trample his foul corpse, to keep his bloodied body within my sight forever. I yearned to display my glorious trophy to all of the Abyss. And that's when my power first manifested. I studied my newfound abilities and learned how to use them. Before long, I possessed not just one island, but an entire archipelago. And what do you plan to do next? Subdue all of the Abyss? Possibly. Or perhaps I have something grander in mind. The Abyss. Who cares about the Abyss? I have no more questions. It's always nice to indulge one's curiosity. I have a question. From her sleeve, Nenio produces a pencil and a piece of paper. Lady Nocticula, how many copulation partners have you had? I'm making a list for the encyclopedia, and I believe you may take one of the top spots. Regil lays a hand on his weapon. His face remains impassive. For a few tense moments, Nocticula peers into Nenio's face and yours, then smiles with the slightest curve of her lips. What matters to me is not quantity, but quality. And I am well ahead of any other denizen of the Abyss in that regard. That is where we will end this discussion. I want to ask you about other powerful denizens of the Abyss. Are you interested in one of my servants, or do you wish for me to tell you something about your enemies? What is your relationship with Arilu? She works for me, isn't it obvious? Lady Vorlesh is very talented. She may be the most brilliant and capable mind ever to come from your plane. And the guile she used to betray one Demon Lord Master after another impressed me so much that I offered her the position of my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Vorlesh. I plan to keep it a secret for a while longer. Betrayal is too strong a word. I opened the path to Galarian for those two, and I told them how to extract power from the Hindrian crystals. That will suffice. Doesn't it bother you that Arilu serves another master? I'm not prone to jealousy. Let Descari think Lady Vorlesh serves him still. His bug brain seems incapable of sensing betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled Descari that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right under his snout. In truth, Lady Vorlesh's loyalty is mine alone. Loyalty is for fools. Shared interest, that is what rational minds rely upon. That and fear. No one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadow. How did Arilu become your servant? When the world wound was first opened, it only led to Descari's realm. But then there was another, more powerful breach. The wound expanded, and its paths now pass through my realm, and Baphomet's as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Isles were soon overrun with agents from my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, burrowing greedily into my rocks, stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one Arilu Vorlesh. She was the one who discovered the energies of Nahindrian crystals. I had captured her and was about to carry out her agonizing execution when Lady Vorlesh offered me something I desired even more than her death. She entered my service, and her main task since then has been to close the world wound. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and Descari, and their slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my islands with such ease. Do you remember the elven archmage who used to serve you thousands of years ago? He's still alive. We know each other. Really? He was well past his youth even back then, and now... Just how old is he? Can mortals even live that long? Well, apart from your immortal Aslanti. Say hello to him on behalf of the Lady in Shadow, and tell him that the one who replaced him has disappointed me immensely with his incompetence. No matter how hard he tried, he could never live up to my magnificent elf. You know, you've managed to surprise me. A rare occurrence for someone who knows just about everything. With a bat of her eyelashes, Nocticula sends you a piercing gaze, one that feels like it's delving into the deepest corners of your soul. Are Baphomet and Descari your allies? The Goat and the Locust. Allies is too strong a word for our relationship. Our connection was forged by circumstance, not out of a desire to deal with each other. When the world wound opened, it tied your world to our realms. I did not join my armies with theirs, but I was forced into making peace with them, so as to not get bogged down in a tiring and distracting war. If I had the opportunity, I would have met them on my terms and expanded my territories, at their expense. Unfortunately, this is not currently possible. By the way, one of them came to me with the offer of an atrocious alliance that involved conceiving little ones together. I'm still contemplating the specifics of my refusal. It needs to be clear and unambiguous. Everything is clear to me now. I wish to inform you of treason. Is that so? Who is it you've decided to inform on? And more importantly, how did you learn of these traitors, and how credible are these accusations? A friend of mine, the storyteller, has peered into the future. In his vision, Hepzamira was sending demons after you. The demons were strengthened by Nahindrian crystals. A hint of dangerous excitement creeps into her voice. You are a font of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetites. The ambitions of that brat, or her lecherous goat of a sire, were bound to surface sooner or later, but your warning will encourage me to keep a closer eye on her. You could have gone to Hepzamira with this and received a payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. The helmsman of the bone ship in Elutionira's port is a manifestation of Nahindri. He's looking for Nahindri's greatest treasure, whatever that is. I've had my eye on that ship for a while now, and you've joined his hunt for no other reason than to tell me about it, I'm sure. Still, you've made the right choice. Keep working for that parody of Nahindri. I'll find you when your search nears its conclusion. Shamira is researching Nahindrian crystals in secret. Perhaps she's planning to overthrow you. A small smile appears on Nocticula's lips. How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I do wonder, however, did you really think I was unaware of this, or did you merely want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I will take this as proof that I can rely on you. You were very astute to uncover Shamira's desire to dethrone me, and it was particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets of the Nahindrian crystals. I suppose your caution calls for a reward. At the snap of Nocticula's fingers, one of the servants approaches you and presents you with a delicate package wrapped in gossamer-like silk. Mining Nahindrian crystals is a surefire way to sink the island the crystals are on to the bottom of Ishiar. I assume you understand why all who attempted to procure them on Alanithia were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamira about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burrowing under my capital. Why do you still tolerate her? Someone has to deal with trivial matters. Shamira's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just as Zephorians before her. The second always dreams of rising to be the first. I know the feeling well. I've said everything I wanted. So, we've spoken with you greatly. Now, what exactly are you offering me? I'm offering you the chance to become my weapon. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well as yours. Once more, I have never schemed against Galarian, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest of your plane. At least not at my behest. There is no cause for enmity between us. And why would you want to close the wound? When the world wound opened, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it into a crossroads of worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels could meet. The wound was a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas. Ah, like Sigil in Planescape. But the Midnight Isles were not the only realm that had been linked to Galarian through the wound. Discari and Baphomet now also had a way from their realms into your plane. Their servants flooded my islands and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests who were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by their lust to conquer and enslave, whether on Galarian or in another abyssal realm. I was forced to shift my focus and express my discontent. Eventually, atop the bones of our servants, we reached an accord. I would let their armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my islands. Of course, the accord is a polite fiction. Both the Descarites and the Baphomets are attempting to amass their power and influence in Elutionira to overthrow me. When they think I'm not watching, they break my taboos and revel in their own impudence. And worst of all, Lady Vorlesh told them about the Nahindrian crystals. They realized what kind of power the crystals hold, and now they are determined to mine every last deposit hidden within my islands. And once an island loses its crystals, it becomes nothing but flotsam, slowly sinking into the dark waters of Ishiar. With every lost island, my power is diminished. I could start a war and kill the plunderers, but a major conflict would hinder some of my other plans. So instead, I will teach my neighbors a lesson by orchestrating their ignominious defeat at the hands of a mortal. And what do I gain by serving you? A reasonable question. One must always serve one's own interests. Well, rest assured that you will be adequately rewarded. I will give you gifts befitting your ambitions, and my patronage, which you can certainly count on, will prove more valuable than any enchanted trinkets you could dream up. Someone's feeling generous. While we're at it, we might as well ask for immortality. Arden like divine powers, and pockets full of sweet pies, right? Oh, I can grant you immortality as well. If you think I will only reward the commander for her service, you are mistaken. I could grant every one of you whatever you desire most. You, underground hunter, would you like me to rid you of the curse of short life that haunts your tribe, so that your eyes don't grow weak in 5 years and your arms remain strong? I would love that, but I'll have to pass. I don't know what price demons demand for favors like that, but I'm sure I've got nothing to pay with. I'd rather die honestly whenever my time comes than live with a debt around my neck. Regil says nothing, but gives Lan a short, respectful nod. If you're so powerful, why do you need me? If I were to make a move myself, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Dascari could never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that visitors from other planes would shudder at the mention of Elutionira. No, I will wage war on my own terms in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive my blade into my enemy's back. And, since Galfrey happened to send you to my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade, mortal. Be glad you're wielded by skillful hands. We should also reveal how exactly our blade will be employed. Nocticula silences Aurilu with a sharp gesture. We can discuss the details later when the moment is right. Now is not the time for idle conversation. And how exactly do you plan to close the world wound? It is a complicated magical process. You will receive precise instructions once you've captured the Threshold Fortress on Galarian. There, at the exact spot where Lady Vorlesh opened the world wound, you will be able to close it. But first you'll have to crush the Guardians of Threshold, and their forces are growing by the day. Hepzimira, Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of Nahindrian crystals in my realm. These crystals are her secret weapon. No army on Galarian can stand against them. You must stop Hepzimira. If you do not, your world will fall, and my plans will suffer significant harm. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transformation to 2 servants of Baphomet and Dascari, Xanthir Vang and Mutasafen. It was a well-calculated gambit which bought us time and assured both Dascari and Baphomet of my loyalty. Mutasafen is Hepzimira's favorite. He oversees the transformation of her army. Hepzimira is currently on another island far from here. The route to that place is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and other more terrifying dangers. Have you heard of the living bubbles of frozen time that swallow airships, and when the ships reach port, the crews discover they've been gone for 100 years? That is not the strangest occurrence you could encounter on your journey. I'm willing to provide you with a decent ship and an experienced crew. If you kill Hepzimira, it will stop her sinking any more of my islands, but without giving Baphomet cause to declare war on me. We are clearly being manipulated into serving as a tool in an intrigue we cannot fully evaluate, given that we lack complete information. It would be tempting to make use of her resources, but that's what bait in a trap is supposed to be. Tempting. Why is it so important to kill Hepzimira? Dascari and Baphomet won't just stand there and watch you close the world wound. They'll send their armies after you, so you will need an army of your own. And that is something the Crusaders won't have for long. Hebzimira is mining more and more Nahindrian crystals to empower her forces when she attacks Galarian. If you don't stop her, the Crusader resistance will be crushed, and the ranks of demons pouring through the world wound into your world will multiply 100-fold. You were sent here to cut off the demon army supply of Nahindrian crystals, weren't you? Well, that's exactly what you're going to accomplish. I will consider your offer. And accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution and won't force you into submission. We all stand to gain if you do my bidding of your own volition. A glimmer of approval dances in Nocticula's eyes. An interesting destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play a part in events of titanic proportions. Many would give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Hebzimira visits Alushanira every now and again, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the island of Kolafir, to the northwest of my archipelago. There lies her secret fortress. In the deep mines, her slaves dig Nahindrian crystals for the invading army she plans to bring to Galarian. I will give you a magnificent airship and an experienced crew to take you there. It will be a long and perilous journey. Take some time to prepare. If I am to depart for Kolafir, your guards must watch over my camp in the Nexus and all who are residing there. I will send my assassins to ensure that no harm comes to your entourage. Be grateful for my patronage, mortal. I still have some business to take care of in Alushanira. Aurilu, you are no longer needed here. As you will, my lady. Aurilu vanishes, but you notice the look in her eyes, pensive and appraising. You have taken a liking to my city, I see. Well then, savor it to the fullest, and then come back for truly important business. Nocticula's lips part in a smile that is both predatory and alluring.